CH Earthmovers are a South Australian owned and operated small business offering a professional, customer-focused service in the field of earth moving. CH Earthmovers are dedicated to providing extensive earth moving and landscaping services across the Adelaide region and surrounding areas. They offer a diverse range of services including but not limited to house pads, footing preps, retaining walls, swimming pools and stump removals. Feel free to give them a call on 0447 162 781 for a no obligation free quote. Are you looking for a new kitchen, alfresco kitchen or custom joinery item? Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 21 years in the business in 2024. That's 21 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets cater for all budgets and offer a wide range of material options. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are proud to offer special rates for South Australia Netball community members and are a proud supporter of the Samna Super League. You can find Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
The Calvin Group are a major partner of Samna, the Southern Dragons and the Samna Super League. Calvin Group are a South Australian owned and operated business who pride themselves on bringing the Adelaide community premium labour hire, electrical services and solar installation. There is no job too big or small for the team at Calvin Group. We thank the Calvin Group for their ongoing support of men's and mixed netball as we work together to build a strong future for male and mixed athletes in South Australia. If you need support with your next project, be sure to give the team at Calvin Group a call on 0438 965 669 or visit their website at www.calvincontractors.com.au. Calvin Group, a proud supporter of the Samna Super League.
And good evening everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the Samna Super League, brought to you tonight by Spacequake Sports. I'm Alice Johnswood, and joining me tonight is Kirsty Lennon-Down. Welcome, Kirsty.
Thank you, Alice. Looking forward to a great night of netball, and thanks for having me.
No problem. We have got a great night, as Kirsty said. We've got Garville versus Matrics on court 1, and both coming off big wins last week, so they would be coming in with a lot of confidence tonight. What matchups are you looking forward to seeing tonight, Kurt?
At the moment, it looks like there's going to be a couple of good matchups across the teams because you've got a good mix of experience and youth in both sides. I think a good one to start with is going to be Sampson and Taylor. So Sampson, the goal attack for Matrix, and Freddie Taylor, the goal defence for Garville. Across there, both young under 23 Australian players. Also in the middle, I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup with Luke Diamond's experience versus the young Geordie Dutram. Geordie, who had a good first game out last week. But obviously coming up against Luke is going to be an interesting match to see how he handles that.
Absolutely. So we've got 2 other games going on tonight. On court 2, we've got South Adelaide versus Oakdale and Contacts versus Tango on court 3. So we'll be bringing you those scores as we go tonight. Umpires for this evening's game, Tom Morton and Dan Rowe over here. Oh no, that doesn't look like that is correct.
No.
We've got the wrong names there, but that's okay. 2 very good umpires anyway will be out here. We've got 23 seconds. You can see the teams there just doing their sort of final little rev-ups and just about to take the court. We'll see who's won the toss. It looks like Garville is shooting to the southern end, so Matrix will be shooting to the northern end, and who's going to have this first centre pass? A handshake there, and Garville, and we are away with round 2. Some good defence there by Matrix, using that reset and that backup option really nicely. Garville moving the ball beautifully there, really quick hands, good rotation in the circle, and opens up that really nice high ball into Clark, and he starts beautifully there with that first goal. So a good little settler there for Garville, nice and easy one to get the game going, Kirsty.
It was a nice start from Garville, smooth transition in the end, good circle work and swinging. I think at the moment what you can see down here is going to be another interesting matchup for the night is Tom Cross and Saxon Hay there at wing attack and wing defence.
Hay had a fantastic game last week. I watched the live stream myself last week and he was absolutely everywhere, so built into the game beautifully. So expect to see his hands flying and getting some intercepts. Good strong rebound there from Davis and finishes that one off to tie it up at 1-1. So a good steady start here from both sides. As we see a really lovely transition there from Dutram, driving hard into the pocket. A miss there from Clark and a good strong rebound there from Cornish. So got some real height down there, Cornish, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with as we see that ball just come up off hands and a loose ball picked up there by Matrics. Unfortunately, just stepped out of court there, tried to keep it in but couldn't quite do it. It's going to be in the, was it a footwork call? No, a throw-in call, there we go. So in the centre third, another opportunity here for Garville to get that score, and really good defence there from Matrix, causing that held ball. Just had absolutely nowhere to go there, the Garville defenders. And a contact call here off the ball. Are we going to go for the long shot, or is going to pop it over? Might be sort of battle of the tall goalies tonight, I think. Both look really strong on the hold, and Matrix gets the first break of the game. Just a little bit of a late contact there from Garville gives Matrix another opportunity to go forward. Oh, beautifully kept in. I think a little bit of miscommunication there from Diamond and the goal shooter, but really, really well backed up there by Sampson, and he just pulled that one back in to give Matrix a 3-1 lead.
They are covering that line really well on the centre pass. Davis is actually not getting out as cleanly as he was last week in his game.
Yeah, the centre's just dropping back there, and that was a really beautiful quick transition there from Matrix. Didn't give the Garville defenders much hope at all. When that ball flies down, it really is tricky for the defenders, as we see a contact call there on Hay. So he's going to have to get himself back into the game. Beautiful rotation there from the goal shooter, just coming in front.
Oh, that's good defence there.
Absolutely. Matrix have been hot on those loose balls, though. That's probably the second or third one they've picked up. So Garville just need to make sure they're on their toes, getting ready, because they are getting some hands to things. And there we go, a loose ball in the air this time, picked up by Foster. So Garville probably needs this one just to settle, maybe get a little bit of possession through that mid-court, and nice long ball. So looking over the nest, that's what we like to see. And another really good pass there, some great vision, really nice hold. And it's good to see early, Kirsty, that they're not afraid to go to Clark, even with those long hands of Cornish, provided he's on that hold.
It is early, obviously, only being round two and the team still being fresh, but they are finding some confidence in the way Clark plays and being able to give him that ball.
And I noticed that last week as well, just watching the game. You could even see just sort of over the 4 quarters, the teams just sort of gaining in confidence, because really they would have done all the training, but actually getting out on the court is, a bit of a different kettle of fish.
Very different, we all know that.
Yes. So good touch in there from Hay. We mentioned him earlier, so he has got sort of his first deflection for the game. So Garville will be looking here to apply some pressure. And just an obstruction call there at the top of the circle, giving Matrix an easy path to goal.
Interesting at the moment, Sampson not wanting to put up that slightly longer shot.
Yeah, so he hasn't wanted to go long. And I mean, that might just sort of be nerves early, just wanting to get the ball in his hands a little bit. So we'll see how that progresses. That was a much better setup there from Garville on the centre pass, but good hands there from Spur, picking up that loose ball, and a lovely long deep drive to the pocket. Good cross as well, just opens up the baseline, but didn't see it, and Garville comes up with the ball. And that's that beautiful quick transition. Again, we mentioned it when Matrix did it earlier, just how hard it is for the circle defenders if that ball just absolutely flies down. So you need your attackers really defending hard. As we see Hay just take one of the easiest intercepts he'll probably take all night. Really great contest on the ball there from Cornish. And again, just that defensive pressure, that hands over. And that was probably one of the biggest things that I noticed. I haven't watched a lot of men's netball and loved watching last week. Just the hands over and the guys' ability to read where the ball's going and get those little deflections is something probably I think that the women can maybe learn a little bit from the men.
It is, and it's something the men embrace quite well. It does take them some time to get used to it, especially the ones if they've come from basketball background.
Yeah.
but definitely they see the advantage of it, and they know, obviously, like you see, a lot of the guys have got a long reach.
Yeah, and just the athleticism. We've seen it a couple of times now, the guys being able to sort of fling themselves over the sideline to actually keep the ball in. So really great athleticism. And we might be seeing a change here for Matrix. We've got one of the bench players popping or standing up, and
looks like young Willow Callahan.
Yeah.
Yep. Coming into
wing attack or wing defence,
wing defence, I'd say. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, and that beautiful transition. So Dietram's done that a couple of times, that really long drive into the pocket. You can see Matrix centres just doing that sort of double teaming on the centre pass, but then they're really letting that second phase go, Matrix, the defenders, so they're going to have to really try and tighten up there. Second shot on goal. Nothing a goalie loves more, Kurt, than a second shot on goal.
Not something the coach always loves.
No, definitely.
It is interesting, though, that long reach down there of Cornish's is a little bit more bothersome for them at the moment at the start of this game.
Nice split there in the circle, and a beautiful just turn and shoot from Davis. So he's really been the go-to for them down there and has looked really strong under the post.
He is, and someone who's definitely improved over his last 18 months in his game and his range.
Yeah, that's probably not the ball to put in. You could see that Clark wasn't really set up there, and he was just on the move, which allowed Cornish's long arms just to come over the top. So something probably Garville just needs to settle a little bit on. And we see those good hands over again through the middle and slowing this transition down, which is what we've been talking about early on. So just under 8 minutes to go in this first quarter, and we are at 7 apiece. So we promised you a good game, and so far it's delivering.
It really is. It's Matrix coming out hot in those first couple and getting an early lead, but Garville coming back to settle again. Pressure from both teams is really good.
It is, yeah, that just defensive one-on-one pressure, but then you also see the boys are sort of dropping back and helping out where they need to. Hay tried to sneak through the goal circle to get a hand on that one, but the umpire wasn't having a bar of it, and there we go. We see Sampson going a post on that one, so that was a really nice, confident shot there. So Matrix take that 1-goal lead and the centre pass. And Hay might just want to be a little bit careful here. He's had a couple of sort of untidy contests on the ball where he hasn't really been in the best position. So we know he's got really good footwork and good speed. So maybe just a little reminder from Coach Jake Taylor at the break just to keep that footwork going to make sure he's getting around and getting in good position.
That's it. That pick and choose moment, isn't it, Alice?
Yeah, it sure is, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your defenders you don't always have to go.
No.
You can just
bit of perceived pressure.
Yeah, apply some body pressure and then go for the next one. But that was a beautiful swing there from Garville. Just opened up Ryan on the baseline, and that was a really nice quick reply after Matrix had probably just had the better of Garville for the last sort of couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a little bit of that lack of composure in some moments for Garville at the moment.
Yeah. And you mentioned both sides have sort of got some young kids in their team and sort of some more experience. You're the current coach of the men's 23 and unders. How many of the boys out here have you had in your teams?
So currently this year, goal attack for Garville, Ben Ryan. Centre for Garville, Geordie Dutram. And let's see, Freddie Taylor at wing defence. And then for Matrix is Will Sampson and Willow Callahan, who we talked about before, waiting to come on. And also Tom Reed sitting over on the bench for Garville. So there's a few of the young ones from the 23s.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. And so it'll be really great for them to have a strong competition that they can play in sort of in the lead up. When do you guys go away next?
March 29th in 2024 we all take off.
And that'll come around very quickly.
Oh, indeed.
As you know.
2 weeks of training has already gone.
So just see Matrix here take a 3-goal lead. So we mentioned before they've just probably had a little bit more composure with the ball going forward and been able to convert those turnovers. We saw Garville come back after Matrix got out to a bit of a lead, but at the moment they're just not quite sure what to do defensively. I think they're sort of going, do we double Davis back there, or do we sort of go one-on-one with Sampson? So at the moment, they're probably not doing either of those things.
No, and Davis is being quite smart at times and moving himself around and letting Sampson take that back space. And there's just got to be a bit more of that communication between the defenders about what they're doing. I also think that composure when you're looking at Luke Diamond and Tom Cross as centre and wing attack for Matrix. Two very experienced players. who are just at the moment kind of driving that forward line, I feel.
They are, and sort of you mentioned Dutram and Hay both being quite young as well, so they'll certainly learn from this experience against playing against some more experienced players.
Definitely.
And we just see a deflection there off the shot, so that was very, very well done by Cornish and the long arms there, as we see good hands over, but Davis is shooting beautifully at the moment, and we see that change. So Vi has gone to the bench and O'Callaghan has come on into wing defence, so we'll see what he can bring.
Yeah, this will create an interesting matchup for him and Davis.
So we probably just need to, think about what they're doing down there in that circle. It's probably getting a little bit too easy for Davis down there to actually get that ball. He's finding himself on his own quite a bit, as we see a beautiful long ball over the top there, just faked it, brought the defender forward, and a miss, but again, that real athleticism, that really nice rebound. Garville just get that little steadier that they need. Just over 3.5 minutes to go. Matrics lead by 5. Good deep second phase there, and probably just giving him a little bit too much room there. Foster just maybe needs to find the body a little bit more, or even get Taylor just to drop back into the circle, maybe just to change up something.
I think we could try something different with the drop back and like a bit of tempting. I also think there really needs to be the pressure on that ball going in has dropped off a bit. It's a bit of chasing instead of actually applying purposeful pressure.
Yeah, thinking about sort of what happens next. What's the most likely thing? That was better. You could see Hay dropped back and Dietrich dropped back to stop that sort of second phase. So just that little change, and now really important for Garville here to convert off this one, but you can just see that Matrix pressure through the middle is very, very good. Well thought through from Garville, back to Dietrich, and a beautiful rotation there from the goalies, and a lovely high ball over the top. But Cornish, those long arms are really giving the Garville goalies a little bit of trouble, as we see that bounce pass to the top of the circle, drew the defender out and popped it over the top. So nice and patient there from Garville. Gets it back to 4 with the centre pass. So this is going to be key here. Can they get these 2 goals in a row to try and bring that margin back? And a really nice take there from Clark. Probably not the finest pass.
Probably not.
Him. No, usually the ones where the coach has their head in their hands.
And you usually get the smile because they just got away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, it looks like we've had another change down the back here. Young Tyler Ward's come into goal defence.
Yep.
So Tyler's in the 17 and unders, so very young out there.
Got a bit of a jump on him.
He does have some mad hops, that one.
Yeah. Does always depress. It always depresses me a bit when I see someone who's like 16 years old, a better netballer than I ever was in my entire career, and they're out there running around. That's a great feed. That's really, really good position there. Just great rotation from Ryan, opening up Clark there. And Garville's really just settled these last few minutes, because Matrix were looking in complete control there for a while. Got out to a 5-goal lead, looking at a 6-goal lead, and Garville were able to get that turnover and then really try and pin them back.
They were, and I think the main difference in those last couple of passages for Garville has been that bit of composure, and then finding that when you've got, your young Arlen Davis and young Geordie, who are very quick, but finding those moments when they can just compose the game.
Yeah, you want them to go fast and you want them to trust that natural instinct, but they also need to be able to read the game situation. Really nice burst of speed there from one of the big bends down there on the baseline, just to pop through on Cornish, and remains at 3, under 1 minute to go now, so this last minute will be really crucial. Great front position there, but a good contest on the ball from Foster, and Matrix will get it again. So Garville's going to want to keep this defensive pressure up. Matrix are going to be looking to milk as much time as possible down here off the clock. Really good work, and that great backup there from Ryan. Garville now 30 seconds, so plenty of time, but it is their centre pass after this, so they're going to want to score off this and then have that next centre pass to try and bring that gap back down to 1 at quarter time.
This is that moment. Can they compose and score from this to make it count?
It is really, really good, and we're just really steady down there, Clark, so that's a good finish from him. Garville wants to get the ball back as quickly as they can to Matrix to make them take the centre pass. and they don't. And so scores are Garville 17 and Matrics 18 at quarter time. And we will throw to a break now and be back with you very soon.
CH Earthmovers are a South Australian owned and operated small business offering a professional, customer-focused service in the field of earth moving. CH Earthmovers are dedicated to providing extensive earth moving and landscaping services across the Adelaide region and surrounding areas. They offer a diverse range of services including but not limited to house pads, footing preps, retaining walls, swimming pools and stump removals. Feel free to give them a call on 0447 162 781 for a no obligation free quote. Are you looking for a new kitchen, alfresco kitchen or custom joinery item? Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 21 years in the business in 2024. That's 21 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets cater for all budgets and offer a wide range of material options. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are proud to offer special rates for South Australian Netball community members and are a proud supporter of the Samna Super League. You can find Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
The Garville Group are a major partner of Samna, the Southern Dragons and the Samna Super League. Garville Group are a South Australian owned and operated business who pride themselves on bringing the Adelaide community premium labour hire, electrical services and solar installation. There is no job too big or small for the team at Garville Group. We thank the Garville Group for their ongoing support of men's and mixed netball as we work together to build a strong future for male and mixed athletes in South Australia. If you need support with your next project, be sure to give the team at Garville Group a call on 0438 965 669 or visit their website at www.garvincontractors.com.au. Garville Group, a proud supporter of the Samna Super League.
And we're back here for the second quarter of round 2 of the Samna Super League, brought to you by Spacequake Sports with our streaming partners Harrison Kitchen and Cabinets and CH Earthmovers. Kirsty, welcome back to what promises to be a really good second quarter.
Oh, yes, that was I was very taken with that start then. I did an early turnover touch by Saxon, then in that chase down. It does, with that comeback in late in that quarter, Garville gaining some composure in their game.
No, that's a really lovely feed. There's not a lot you can do about that as a keeper. You can be positioned as well as you like, but if that ball comes in just to the space right away from you, it makes it really hard. Good take there, and again, just really, Garville's been very good on that second phase off the centre pass. So
that second phase is good. It's Matrics are really pushing them wide on their centre passes though. I'd like to see a bit of variety about where we're receiving there.
So one apiece with 50 seconds gone in this quarter.
It's a much better shutdown on their centre pass.
Yeah. Oh, almost there. Fingertips. You didn't have to cut your nose, you might have got that one. And Matrix just working the ball around here, as you see Garville really working the double back there on Davis. So they've obviously sort of had a bit of a chat at quarter time just about trying to shut that long ball to Davis off, as we see beautiful hands over the top there. And that's what we're talking about in that first quarter, just how good the men are with their hands over the ball. Really nice quick release there just to gain some ground, and again just great composure there from Davis. Really, that goal goes down to him, not only with the goal but also the turnover there as well. So great depth there from the wing attack into the pocket. Good goalie to goalie pass.
Really is. I was sort of thinking we'd get a bit more match up there, but Arlen Davis's speed on Willow Callaghan in that second phase at the moment is too quick for him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job on the centre pass, but if he doesn't get it there, then almost a replay there. Umpire deemed he didn't have control, and the umpire has been Kirsty is always right.
Of course.
So, long ball there.
Some good vision now. I don't know, it saw through a lot of mess.
They certainly did.
Just a bit of a rush shot, I think, then.
It was, yeah. And you could just see Garville then as well. Matrics' defence was really good, and we had to go cross-court, cross-court, cross-court. Bit of a lucky pass through Ryan and ended up with Clark, but couldn't actually get that ball in. But they're going to get another opportunity here with some good defence through a held ball. So after such a high-scoring first quarter, we probably haven't seen the sharpest netball in sort of the first couple of minutes here of this quarter, with Garville scoring 2, or it's 2 apiece really. So so 17-18, wasn't it, at quarter time?
That defensive pressure's right up from both teams again. It'll be interesting to see if they maintain that or who takes the settle first.
Nice roll there from Davis.
Good rotation by the goalies.
And again, just that really good tip, recognising that Sampson couldn't actually sort of take possession of the ball there, but just tipped it down. And just a little bit fumbly there, but ball first rather than thinking about where you're going to throw it. But again, just that speed you mentioned, Kirsty, as well. So Davis has just got that on who's come
Young
on
O'Callaghan.
There? O'Callaghan, that's right, who's come on in there. So Matrics seem to have settled first in this quarter, and they take that 3-goal lead with the centre pass. So a little bit of a mirror to what happened in that first quarter, where Matrics sort of blew out of the blocks quickly, and then Garville was sort of able to peg them back. But you can just see Matrics are being really deliberate with what they're doing at the moment, making sure of that possession, working the ball around, getting ball side, or doing those holds where they're really strong at the ball. Nice pop to the front there, and another really, really good finish.
It is. They're just using those positions and their swing balls nicely.
Nice
Garville
read
at the
there.
moment, sort of only having one option.
Yeah. So they need to, probably even come together on that centre pass, work together a little bit, even use that sort of backdoor option, maybe just to mix things up a little bit, because, Matrix are sort of having the better of them on that centre pass, but once they get it, then Garville's getting it to circle edge quite nicely. Lovely drive, but really well read there from Foster. And who's going to come up with it?
There we go.
Umpires.
Young Geordie going in for the battle and coming out with the ball.
Really good. And so that's those loose balls. You sort of make something out of nothing there. So a little deflection, really good read from Foster. Came out of the circle, saw the high ball, and then was backed up by his teammates. So just seeing again this real cross-court game from Garville, like those long balls going across. It worked on that occasion, but I feel like the experience of some of the Matrix guys, they're probably going to start reading that a little bit and maybe coming through and taking a few of those high ones.
That's it. That's what I'd be expecting to see. Garville needing to have that second option. It's okay, like maybe that be the dummy lead, and let's have another option coming to the ball down the line.
And so you
composed then.
And so you mentioned, Kirsty, that Matrix are really pushing Garville wide on those centre passes. What do you do to try and counter that if you are finding that a team is actually sort of forcing you really, really wide on the centres and you want to try and play that sort of middle corridor?
Yeah, at the moment you'd be looking for our wing, the Garville wing attack to sort of change his starting positions, where he's trying to come out, switching up, maybe going in a different centre pass, so goal attack on the line, a backdoor option, as you mentioned just before, Alice. So just a bit more variety in what they're doing. We're sort of, and that's going back to that one option again.
Yep.
Obviously, we don't want both out over the line, but we don't want to keep repeating into that fact that we're just having a player pushed out wide all the time.
Yeah, just that variety as we see manager extraordinaire Simone Punchin coming onto the court just to wipe up some sweat from the boys.
That's
An
it.
obstruction call.
Also
there.
the wonderful head of all the Dragons managers, Southern Dragons managers, Simone Punchin.
Beautiful. Yeah, we've got some real experience who's come out in support of this men's league this year, which is fantastic. Really experienced coaches and team managers and support staff, which is just so important. When you've got a new league like this, it needs to be supported. And so it's wonderful to see just the level of experience and commitment that the clubs have put into have put into this competition, because certainly, as I mentioned before, I haven't watched a lot of men's netball, but watching last week I was just so impressed, and I was actually away coaching the 12 state girls team, the 12 and unders, when it was the first time the boys had gone away. And so Judy Greenwood, who's one of the assistants at Garville, was coaching that, and it was so wonderful to see all those young boys running around. They just had such an amazing time, and for them now, they can see a pathway for them to be able to come through. I imagine a lot of them are sort of out here watching this. And we were actually lucky enough to have one of the dinners one night, and 2 of the Aussie boys came and spoke to us, and they just spoke about how special it was for them to see these kids, because it wasn't an option for them when they were younger. So it's absolutely fantastic to see the boys out here, and I don't think anyone would argue with just the skill that you're seeing. Again, that beautiful goalie to goalie. They really do have a great connection down there, but just coming up short there. But they'll get another opportunity here, and I think we might be seeing another change here, Kirsty, from the looks of it. And Matrix players up with...
Looks like, who's that over there? Louis George Duff. Coming to, what's that, wing defence? It's the glasses here, Alice. The eyesight.
Yes. But yeah, another change in that wing defence position. So no one else on the court. Oh, we've seen one other change, I think you said goal defence, but just the third option there, trying to just shut down, I guess, the speed of Davis going down into that Garville forward line. So Matrix here again, just steadying with that 3-goal lead. Every time Garville looks like they're coming and they might get that break or that turnover, Matrix just holds steady and sort of score off their centre pass and then maybe sneak one. We're seeing an obstruction call and just an easy pop through there for Davis on the baseline. Easy as you like.
Yeah, Garville need to capitalise on a couple of their turnovers and then backing it up, which is what Matrix have done well to get that lead back.
They have, yeah. And you can see really nice hold there from Clark, but Ryan just saw that backspace beautifully, ran through, and a really sort of composed feed there from Dutram as well. Good defence there, but just that easy option out the back. Really applying some pressure through here. Good ball contest there.
Yeah, they're definitely not letting them get easy depth and transition. Great hands over by young Ward there. But it is the composure and just that working through their options that is still getting Matrix to get down and score consistently.
You can just see the experience of Diamond, just that sort of little change of pace, drive to the top. That timing was absolutely beautiful. And then that easy feed in. So Matrix here, a 4-goal lead with 6 minutes to go. And we're just going to bring you some scores from around the other court. So at quarter time, Oakdale was 17. South Adelaide was 20, so a really close one there. Another high-scoring affair. And then court 3, really low scoring there, but only 1 goal in at Tango 7, contact 6. So very different down there. We were mentioning just during the break there to each other, Kirsty, just about how high-scoring that first quarter was. So very sort of contrasting games down there with contacts and Tango on court 3.
Must be a very defensive game going on down there.
Yes. And so opportunity here for Matrix to get that 4-goal lead back. We see another change here. So Diamond looks like he's gone to the bench. And this is O'Callaghan, is it?
Yes, this is O'Callaghan.
Yeah, so O'Callaghan's come back on. So he had a run at wing defence before.
We've got a clash in the middle of the court there.
Hopefully that's just a knee knock and nothing more serious. Looks like he's in a bit of strife there, as we see. Trying to get up, maybe not wanting to get up. And you never want to say, oh, and we've got someone else down as well. Yeah,
Tyler, it looks like Ward, I think, if we look at here, clashed heads in the hit. And then we've got a knee as well. So possibly a couple of changes here for Garville, and you can see Jake Taylor just making a few changes there. We obviously hope that both of the boys are okay. Both up and walking now, which is, almost both up and walking now, which is really good to see. Yeah, so hopefully just sort of a minor head knock and a bit of a knee knock there. So this will be a really important sort of 5-minute period for both sides. So from Matrix point of view, they'll be wanting to really put the foot down, sort of hope that this has unsettled Garville,
and that they can really try and extend that lead. And for Garville, it'll be very important to get that voice going early, make sure that they're communicating and that they switch on right from sort of ball one, because they don't have sort of 2 or 3 minutes to try and work themselves into the game. So hopefully the boys on the bench have really been watching what's been happening, so they are absolutely ready to go, which is what is so key for your bench players, Kirsty.
That's it. And also Saxon Hayes switching into centre, who's now going to have to be aware of pushing down for that strong attacking game. You'd like to think that Taylor and Vassos on the bench were ready to go and in the game, as you said, Alice. And hopefully this will become a settling moment for them, and potentially disruptive for Matrics, maybe, because they've got to get used to new players now.
They do. And so just those changes again, Kirsty. So we've got Hayes gone from wing defence to centre. Please come on into wing defence for us.
So
there.
Freddie Taylor has gone into wing defence, who was on earlier at goal defence, and Nick Vassos has come into goal defence for young Ward going out.
Yeah. Oh, bit of a hip and shoulder there. Didn't like that one at all.
Not at all.
Davis and...
giving a bit back.
They certainly are. No love lost there at all between those two. And finishes off really nicely. So back out to a 4-goal lead, just over 4.5 minutes. Again, just that beautiful depth on that second phase is going so nicely for Garville. Again, we probably just want to see them maybe cut back through the middle if they can. Beautiful fake. And that's one of the really tricky things about going from a wing defence position into a centre position, is that finesse on the feed. So that was great to see Hay give that really good feed early. So hopefully that should give him lots of confidence. Unfortunately, it didn't. Goalies couldn't finish, but confidence for Hay nonetheless.
That's it. Definitely something that Hay has worked on in his game over the last 12 months, his variety of passing.
And came up with a loose ball there. Really good position on the circle edge there from cross.
It's good pressure in there, just not being able to come away with the turnover that they're working for.
Yep. And read that one really nicely.
Just need a bit of talk there between the new defender and Sammy, Vassos and Foster.
So 5 goals up. So this is sort of equal highest lead of the game now, and the centre pass here. So 3.5 minutes to go. We saw Garville working pretty hard there to try and get that turnover and just couldn't quite come up with it. As we see Vassos there just a little bit late, and really good
Chased by
knock
Taylor
away
there.
but just couldn't come up with it. So again, Garville opportunity is there, but just goes begging, as we see the Matrix boys almost
intercepting each other.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to get those extra net points on court and get that extra possession. So a game high 6-goal lead now. So really important one here for Garville. And from a Matrix point of view, if they can get another turnover here and try and sort of get that lead up to sort of in double digits at half time, that's going to make it pretty tricky for Garville, I think. So this one, really need this one to sink and pull as you like. Ryan finishes that one off. So a very important sort of steadying goal there for Garville. And we've seen that defensive pressure. You can sort of feel like something's coming down there. Just an obstruction call. It's a bit of an unlucky one there. Let's Matrix just reset and have another go. And that should be a Garville ball. Great pressure there from Hay.
O'Callaghan looking confused that it came off of his fingers last.
Yep, it certainly did. I saw that one. The umpire was right there as well. So I think you have that confused look to try and sort of say to the umpire, what are you talking about? That absolutely didn't come off me. I've certainly done that. Of course not. Certainly done that in my time. And we just see...
In your time, Alice, you were the goal and pick up the ball and take it.
Exactly, yes. Yes, I was. Really good hands there, but just not quite coming around the body enough. So umpire's seen that one. It's going to go to post. Takes that step in. Obviously, the defender can't take that step, but just couldn't finish, unfortunately. And really quick transition there. Great hands from Hay, and rewarded by the umpire saying that he had possession of that one. It was a contact there.
That's it. And this is one thing you get from Hay. While he goes into attack and he gives you some flair as an attacker, his defensive game does not drop.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. Having that defensive centre just makes such a difference. And again, just that beautiful understanding, that goalie to goalie, the no-look pass, And so a really key sort of minute or two there for Garville. So they've got it back to 4 goals, and with the centre pass they can get this back to 3. So excellent composure there from Garville. Matrics would probably be a little bit disappointed that they didn't probably sort of capitalise on those changes from Garville when the 2 boys went off injured. Nice high ball over the top there, beautiful placement. Umpire's seen a contact or obstruction call there, and Davis just coming up a little bit short, but really good strong position there on the rebound and finishes off. So we've got just 41 seconds to go in this second quarter and 3 goals in it. So it's been an absolute tight tussle right from that first whistle. We thought Matrix was maybe going to run away with it for a little bit, and Garville's pulled them back, but Matrix have got that opportunity there. Umpire's seen something that doesn't like at the top of the circle. A little bit late there from Fasos, as Davis just gets to step in, easy as you like, and take that shot. And Garville will have one more chance here, almost a breaking call. They're going to have to go long. You can see both Matrix defenders back there on the goal. They're going to have to turn and shoot, and almost buzzer beater. So 4 goals in it. So it was 2 goals at quarter time, 4 goals at half time. Garville 28, Matrix in the lead 32. And we will be back after a few messages.
CH Earthmovers are a South Australian owned and operated small business offering a professional, customer-focused service in the field of earth moving. CH Earthmovers are dedicated to providing extensive earth moving and landscaping services across the Adelaide region and surrounding areas. They offer a diverse range of services, including but not limited to house pads, footing preps, retaining walls, swimming pools, and stump removals. Feel free to give them a call on 0447 162 781 for a no obligation free quote. Are you looking for a new kitchen, alfresco kitchen, or custom joinery item? Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 21 years in the business in 2024. That's 21 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets cater for all budgets and offer a wide range of material options. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are proud to offer special rates for South Australian Netball community members and are a proud supporter of the Samna Super League. You can find Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
The Garville Group are a major partner of Samna, the Southern Dragons and the Samna Super League. Garville Group are a South Australian owned and operated business who pride themselves on bringing the Adelaide community premium labour hire, electrical services and solar installation. There is no job too big or small for the team at Garville Group. We thank the Garville Group for their ongoing support of men's and mixed netball as we work together to build a strong future for male and mixed athletes in South Australia. If you need support with your next project, be sure to give the team at Garville Group a call on 0438 965 669 or visit their website at www.garvincontractors.com.au. Garville Group, a proud supporter of the Samna Super League.
Great job, Alice.
And welcome back to quarter number 3 of this round 2 clash, as we see Foster come out with that great intercept early. I think he might have just gone offside maybe, but umpire thought it was on the line. So a really, really good start. So we come into this quarter and held ball there. So we've mentioned Cornish a couple of times just how good his hands are over the ball, and we see that again, but Clark wasn't having a bar of that and comes in with the intercept. And unfortunately there, just the placement of that pass, not ideal. The umpire down the southern end is actually probably letting a little bit more body contact go, maybe, than down the northern end. So that's just an adjustment that the players have to make each end. Both umpires are being really consistent, but maybe just being umpired slightly differently down each end.
Yes, it is, and we always know that's a slight challenge for players to adjust to at times.
Yeah. But you just need to sort of work through what the umpires are picking up for and what they're allowing, because you can just see, a bit more advantage maybe being played down, and that's a beautiful hold. Really nice screen there from Clark at the front to open up that back space, and you'll see that there has been that change. So Ryan has gone back to shooter and Clark out to goal attack for Garville. We see Davis still in at wing attack, and Hay moved into centre because of that injury, and so he has stayed there, as has Taylor and Fassos and Foster. And have we got any changes there for Matrix that you can see, Kirsty?
None that I can see. Oh, sorry. Luke Diamond has come into wing attack, so Tom Cross is off the court for the start of this quarter by the look of it, having a rest.
So Diamond started in centre, and he was very, very good there, nice and composed. So obviously Matrix just wanting his maturity and experience there, and at wing attack on the feed. As we see a nice rotation there, Sampson. Really nice high shot from Sampson. Good high release as well, which you certainly need in men's netball, because the arms over the ball are just so good.
Definitely. I think one of the biggest things you can see that was brought in Cross's game, and you see it with Diamonds, is when they're playing, is just that experience and use of their body to protect the ball, keep their player away. Just at times catching the younger Garville players out.
Yeah. And that is beautiful ball movement there from Davis down in at wing attack. Just faked the ball, drew the defender, and then just perfect placement, as we see that little stop and pop at the top of the circle. Umpire's seen an obstruction call there. And again, just that long arm of Cross. So this is something that Ryan's just going to have to sort of work out the best way to do. I feel like almost he's going to be better on the move against Cornish rather than trying to body up. He doesn't quite have the height of Clark.
No.
But he's probably going to be able to outrun Cornish, and we've seen that he's got that really nice change of direction and change of pace out at goal attack. So maybe a bit of a moving circle there for Garville in this third quarter.
That's it. And Clark obviously smart enough and quick enough to get back into that post position if Ryan's coming out.
Yeah. We've seen they've got a really good understanding there, so you'd imagine that would continue. Just another really good hand on the ball there from Taylor. Good hands up from Fassos.
Great hands over pressure by Hay.
And you can see Fassos there, he's come through a few times since coming on, and has just been that fraction of a second late. So you can see when he's when he sort of gets into the game a little bit more, I think he's going to come through and get a few of those deflections and those turnovers. As we see a Matrix ball there, I think the Garville boys wanted it, but came off one of them. Yeah, trying to fake the umpire out there, but she wasn't having a bar of it. Really good hands there again from Foster. And we just see that steadying shot come up a little bit short, but just needed to box out on those rebounds. Not going to get a lot of opportunities for rebounds there, and that was probably one where Foster really needed to sort of step back into Davis rather than just turning.
Take that space away.
Yep, absolutely. So that 3-goal lead, so it was 4 goals at half-time.
Great long ball in to the front of the circle.
Again, just that really nice high ball, and you can see Ryan there just stepping across to try and get away from the hands, give himself a little bit more room. So it's been just a fantastic tussle so far. We were talking during the break, Kirsty, just about every time you think Matrix, they've got it here, they're going to really go away with it, Garville come back, and every time you sort of think, Garville are looking a little bit wayward here, it might be Matrix's game, then they just find a little bit of something extra and come back at Matrix. As we see Sampson hit the deck there.
Yeah, and another turnover to Matrix at a critical time for Garville.
Good goalie to goalie. Good arm. Oh, that's a little bit of contact there. You can see Davis not liking that at all, giving his team a little bit of a rev up. And you do just want to stay, you've mentioned sort of being calm and composed a few times, Kurt, and it is just so key. You obviously want to have that emotion and that energy in the game, but it needs to be channeled.
That's it.
You can't sort of get too aggressive towards the ball. You can't get too aggressive towards your opponent. You need to sort of stay, stay really composed and in the game. And we just saw then Davis gave Foster a bit of a shove there, let go by the umpire. Sort of allowing a little bit of that body contact, but I'd certainly know you try and remind your players to always just try and play the ball. Don't sort of worry too much about the body stuff and just make sure you're making good decisions and executing.
That's it. We know it's too easy to get caught up in what the other player's doing and lose your own game. And that was a nice finish from Clark, composing. That's much better defence across the line there.
Good hands over again. Out hunting there. And we see Foster back in the circle, just waiting for that drive in. Really nice switch there, but Fassos probably needed to take that front position, get his feet around Sampson, not wanting to shoot from there, which seems to be sort of his range, just from inside the sort of shooting circle there.
He should be shooting from there, and when we go away in March and April, I'll be expecting him to shoot from there. I think with Vassos too at the moment, he's just one of those ones that's transitioning into netball. So we were talking about that footwork and not quite getting there. That's that still adjusting to how important footwork actually is in netball, Alice.
Yeah, absolutely. So all those footwork drills that coaches spend hours making their players do are definitely worth it, as we see a really good strong rebound there and really good balance there to get that ball back in. So falling out of court, but managed just to turn, see a teammate and get that ball to him, and really lovely ball over the top there.
And just calmer play there, we could see from Garville.
Yeah.
So I think they've just got to learn those moments where they've got to go between that real relentless attack, fast pace, and then finding, great transition into the game there from Dutram, almost taking the turnover.
Yeah, so I've just seen a change there, and it looks like Hayes putting the wing defence bib back on as well, so double change. So great to see Dutram there get up from that knock. It looked like it could have been a bit of a nasty knee, but obviously just a bit of a knock there, and he's come back on, so really good. So again, we see that 6-goal game-high lead there from Matrics with the centre pass. So this potentially to get the game to a 7-goal difference, which we haven't really seen
not yet
that high at all throughout the course of the game. Matrix there just working really hard to actually get this ball into their goalies. A little bit unlucky there, I reckon, from Foster. Yeah, he came right around outside arm, but obviously just sort of clipped the body on the way through. So 7-goal lead here to Matrix now. So what is going to happen in these last kind of 6.5 minutes? Are Garville going to be able to just peg them back like they have each other quarter? Or will this be the time that Matrix actually will take control of the game and sort of put it beyond Garville at 3/4 time?
I think we've just got to get Garville like those moments to compose and capitalise. Possibly at the moment with Hay coming back to wing defence, potentially looking for whether Taylor is going to go back into goal defence.
Yep.
Just add a bit of more speed pressure onto Sampson, who's starting to get a bit of a run in the game.
Yeah, he's certainly come into it a lot more, which makes it just so much more difficult for the defenders as well. If you sort of go, we're going to double Davis, but then when Sampson comes back into the game, then all of a sudden it's like, what do you do here? Now
that's an interesting call by the umpire.
Yeah. Something at the top there.
And it looks like another change, Diamond back out and Cross back on.
Does Foster come out and play goal defence at all? Because I'm just wondering sort of matchup-wise whether height-wise it'll be better having Fassos back there at goalkeeper, but as you said, he's just learning the game, so maybe on someone as experienced as Davis that might not be the best matchup for him.
Potentially not. They did have a run like that for a bit last week in their first round, where Foster came out to goal defence with Vassos behind. But potentially with Davis being the most experienced in that circle.
Fancy footwork there from Davis.
It was a little bit.
Davis probably
we'll call it fancy.
We'll call it fancy. Just needs to watch himself a little bit. He's starting to sort of throw his body around, which he was probably copping it a little bit early, but I think the last few he's initiated. So I'm not sure whether the umpire's sort of seen that. Just a few things off the ball that perhaps he just needs to needs to tidy up. Really great triangle work there.
Goal shooters benefit.
Yeah. Unfortunate there for Garville because that was really beautiful angle work.
It really was.
Yeah, and shame that wasn't. And talking about angle work, that was very nice down the other end as well. Anything you can do, I can do better. As we see an obstruction call there, just a bit of a smile from Fasos. And a beautiful finish there from Sampson. So he's really worked himself into the game, and we see that 7-goal margin again. Really good depth there from Clark. And I'm not sure, and be interested on your thoughts on this, Kirsty, whether that move of Clark out and Ryan back has been sort of a good one for Garville or not. I don't know whether it sort of added anything. They certainly haven't scored as many in this quarter as what they had previously, having Clark back there as kind of that tall target.
I think too much last week when they played that way and that change, it worked really well because, as you said, what you were expecting to see was some movement from Ryan, but he's playing that real holding game back there. When he takes the front hold, it's working for them. But I think the other problem is at the moment is there's not a quick enough second option. So there's times like we just saw in that last passage when Dutram's on the circle with the ball and they're 2-on-1 on Ryan. So we just need that extra option because obviously they're not going to feed into that 2-on-1.
No. And we just see again they're just slightly late from Foster. That easy one over the top. And again, Davis just keeps shooting beautifully, makes it really hard when it gets into his hands. You know you're not going to get too many rebounds there, as we see that wide one again on the centre pass, but good depth. Contact there.
And it seems V has come back into centre for Matrix.
Yeah. So not afraid to bring the changes, which is great to see, I guess, early on in the season as well. You want to get your players out on court to see what they're capable of doing, and you probably haven't worked out what your best combinations and stuff are yet either. So both coaches sort of really using their benches, which is good there.
And having, both teams have got players that are also new to netball. So, like, from my perspective, and I'm sort of reasonably new myself, only a couple of years in, but even for me, Cornish from Matrix, I haven't come across him before. So, and I think he's quite an exciting player, that long reach.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a bit better awareness by Vassos. It's just that, that was really well held and taken by Sampson at the back.
So a little bit of a danger time here for Garville. So he's sitting at that 7-goal mark. So it hasn't blown out anymore, but they haven't been able to peg anything back at the moment. And so that's sort of playing into Matrix's hands a little bit. They've been very composed going forward, have just really made sure that they're getting that ball to Davis or getting that ball to Sampson within his shooting range. And they are both shooting very, very well this evening, as we see an obstruction call there. Someone's got to stand out. Cornish is going around, just coming up short there a little bit for Ryan. Gets that second chance, so always important to follow your shots in. And so back to 6 there, just over 2 minutes on the clock. As we see, Foster there just coming out.
You just want to see him step through that a bit more, really attack that line.
Yeah, just getting a warning there from the umpire, just coming through a little bit late. But yeah, you sort of feel like if he'd come through with 2 hands on that one, he probably would have taken possession and not got the warning, but he just sort of backed off a little bit. But that's what the umpire's there for, is to control the game, and she thought that was a little bit dangerous. As we see, is that Diamond coming back on into centre, so he's been almost all the positions in that mid-court. So really good cross ball there, and just opened up Ryan in that front hold that you were talking about earlier, Kirsty.
That's it. And I feel like that's where his strongest position at the moment in this defence, like against these defenders, is for him. Yeah.
That was great defensive work there from Garville. They just needed that extra half second.
They did.
And unfortunately for them, it just opened up to Davis and that long ball in. But just over a minute to go. So again, still sitting at that 7-goal mark. Can Clark finish here? He can't.
Oh, Ryan,
Ryan, sorry.
Go for
really good.
Well read by
from
Vassos.
Excellent work there. So he's been threatening to do that sort of the quarter and a half that he's been on, and he hasn't quite been able to come up with a turnover, and came up with one at a crucial time there. So Garville really needs to make sure that they just work this in, score off it, get that nice easy ball over the top to Clark.
Just not shooting through those shots. They're short. The pressure over that shot from those long arms is... obviously getting to both of their heads,
So
and they just need to breathe and finish it off.
They do. Back to 6 goals here, just under 30 seconds to go. So Garville will really not want to let Matrics score here, and Matrics will want to try and work the ball around, eat up as much time as they can.
It's another example of what you were saying before and the difference in the calls at the ends, just a bit more contact in one end than the other.
Yep. And we've got, he's hanging on to the ball there. He wants to get into the circle with less than 3 seconds to go so he doesn't have to pass it. And he knows. He's telling his teammates, I know. And so a really good quarter there from Matrix. So lead out to 7. It was 4 at half time. So they've gained 3 more goals there in their lead, 47-40. And we will take a quick break and be back with you shortly.
CH Earthmovers are a South Australian owned and operated small business offering a professional, customer-focused service in the field of earth moving. CH Earthmovers are dedicated to providing extensive earth moving and landscaping services across the Adelaide region and surrounding areas. They offer a diverse range of services including but not limited to house pads, footing preps, retaining walls, swimming pools and stump removals. Feel free to give them a call on 0447 162 781 for a no obligation free quote. Are you looking for a new kitchen, alfresco kitchen or custom joinery item? Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 21 years in the business in 2024. That's 21 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets cater for all budgets and offer a wide range of material options. Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets are proud to offer special rates for South Australian netball community members and are a proud supporter of the Samna Super League. You can find Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
The Garville Group are a major partner of Samna, the Southern Dragons and the Samna Super League. Garville Group are a South Australian owned and operated business who pride themselves on bringing the Adelaide community premium labour hire, electrical services and solar installation. There is no job too big or small for the team at Garville Group. We thank the Garville Group for their ongoing support of men's and mixed netball as we work together to build a strong future for male and mixed athletes in South Australia. If you need support with your next project, be sure to give the team at Garville Group a call on 0438 965 669 or visit their website at www.garvincontractors.com.au. Garville Group, a proud supporter of the Samna Super League.
And welcome back to the final quarter of the round 2 clash here between Garville and Matrix. Kirsty, we are in for a rip snorter final quarter.
I think we are, and a few changes again. I don't think Garville are out of this, but Matrix are in control of the game.
They are. They certainly steadied really nicely in that third quarter. Probably a little bit disappointed they maybe went up by a few more, but they would definitely take a 7-goal advantage. And so just talking about these changes, we see Davis has gone from wing attack into centre.
Correct.
And Dietram's come back on into wing attack.
Yeah.
The goalies have switched back again as well, which we were sort of commenting on. And by the looks of it, the defensive line stays the same.
No, Hayes gone back into wing defence.
Oh, no, Hayes back into wing defence. Yep, there we go. So another change there. Yeah, and so for Matrix, I don't think there's any, or it looks like Diamond's back into centre.
Yeah, and so Cross is back at wing attack with Diamond at centre and V's come into that wing defence
pretty much
position.
back into their starting 7,
Pretty,
I think,
yeah,
there.
yes.
Yeah, so
You're
that
right.
experience mid-court again as we see a step in. One of my least favourite things as a coach, Kirsty, is the step in for no reason by a goalie.
You know, it's just not one of my favourites at all.
No.
Don't see why we're doing it.
No, there's a time and a place.
So
That wasn't it, but Garville lucky to come up with that one. Really nice ball in there and a good start to the quarter. They've got these first 2 on the board. Really
what they
important
needed.
for them now just to try and get this 3 in a row And we'll just bring you some scores from the other games as well. So we mentioned on court 2, we have Oakdale taking on South Adelaide. South Adelaide 53, lead Oakdale 48 at three-quarter time. And another really tight one down there on court 3. We've got Contacts 25 leading Tango by 2
Wow, that is
at
very
three-quarter
close.
time. So basically sort of across all the courts, really anyone's game for all the games, which is great to see. As we see a good hand in there from Hay.
Oh.
And Diamond just comes up with it, and a really quick ball there that his teammate probably wasn't ready for. And a little bit clumsy there from Matrics, probably sort of had control of that one, and Diamond just tried to force it a little bit too quickly. And this opportunity here for Garville again to try and transition and get that ball down and score that goal to get it back to 5 goals. Nice long ball there to Ryan, and again really
Well
good
backed
composure
up.
and back up from Clark. As we see that beautiful high ball, and he saw the drive there from Ryan around the front, just pulling that extra defender to open up the space behind. And I think that's probably what Garville was lacking in that third quarter.
Yeah.
Was just that rotation in the circle. As we see that high ball in, that's a great take from Clark. That was an average ball. Oh,
It
and he
really
stepped out
was.
of
It
court,
was.
and that
It
was
forced him out.
yeah. No good there. I don't think.
It's just those moments they don't need to.
Yep.
It's that one extra pass at times. Reset the ball. Use a fake and let him move.
Really nice take there. Good reposition. Good hands over there from Fasos, but too good again, Davis. And it's just those sort of little momentum sort of shifters in the game. That's an opportunity there. It was 5 goals to get it back to 4. Instead, it's 6 goals and Matrix centre pass. So these are those little things when I'm sure Jake and the boys will be watching the replay and just sort of saying, yeah, that's the time not to give that long ball. That's the time we just need to make sure that we maintain possession of it. So yeah, disappointing little couple of minutes there for Garville, but still 11 and a half minutes to go. They're certainly not out of it, but they need to sort of clean up a little bit, I suppose, in some of those moments.
Yeah, it's just capitalising in those moments, Alice, as you said. Making sure, really taking ownership of that ball.
Even just some fakes to try and move Cornish around a little bit. He does have such a good reach, and just, yeah, a couple of fakes in there to try and get him to move the body, just sort of shift his centre of gravity, might just give Clark a little bit more space.
Interesting now, the umpire not so tough on the whistle.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
But you are right. They need to utilise the fakes. They're being just quite watching the play.
Yeah, getting a little bit predictable with where they're giving the ball. Yeah.
Especially if they're 2-on-1 on Clark, we should be able to utilise something else.
Yeah.
And it's well-placed ball from Dutram.
Yeah,
But, you know,
nice.
it can become very transparent and repetitive. So what else is happening around? Oof.
Oh, that was unlucky. I reckon he just ran into the back of Hay
I
there.
feel like there's a little bit of, and that's what I was saying before, the experience of Cross and Diamond, how they use their bodies on their players.
You can see that just with those front cuts as well. Both of them hitting the circle just so well. And just sort of presenting that really strong target for their feeders.
Yeah, and those young boys just still getting used to the amount of work that we have to do off the ball.
Yep, exactly. And being able to, sort of almost predict, well, what are they likely to do next? And you can just see again, just ball side, ball side, ball side from those two, and just positioning themselves beautifully. So you need to...
Davis backing himself in there.
Yeah. Need to have sort of that defensive footwork and coming off the body. And if that feeder gives you an opportunity to keep them off the circle, you've got to keep them off the circle. If that feeder gives you the opportunity to keep them deep in the pocket, keep them deep in the pocket. Don't just sort of, let them do or go where they want to go and then start defending. A little bit of dictating there is always going to be good.
It is. And I think the biggest one is, as you just said, Alice, when they're in the pocket. It's such a great opportunity to take out an option, and too often we let them just run back out.
And also just with how athletic the boys are as well, those pocket balls, they can get up and have a go at those. So if a high ball comes into the pocket, so it's probably something for them just to have a bit of a think about, trying to keep them as deep in the pocket as they possibly can, force that high ball, and then, use that beautiful aerial jump of theirs, particularly Hay. We've seen it throughout the game. You'd sort of think he'd be able to eat a few of those for breakfast, those high balls into the deep into the pocket. Nice ball over the top there from Davis, just good understanding that,
And much better because there were 2 options to look at.
funny that. Yeah. So again, we just see the margin just staying at 6. So Matrics haven't been able to really blow Garville away, but also Garville haven't been able to sort of peg themselves or sort of, peg a few goals back from Matrix to kind of get within striking distance. Okay, so nice little 1-2 there from Davis, going from long range for him. He hasn't really shot too many long ones, but sinks that one beautifully.
Feeling confident and composed back there.
And why wouldn't you? He's played really, really well tonight. He's been a solid target down there. Copped a bit of biffo from some of the Garville boys, but gave it back just as well.
He did indeed.
He certainly has sort of held his own down there.
And definitely didn't get played out of the game with it.
No, absolutely not. He just sort of, stood strong and knew what his role was and has really delivered for his team.
That was better ball movement in that passage of play there, but once again, it was almost a turnover to Matrix just because of that slow and transparent movement.
You can just see getting a little bit stagnant here as well, as they're moving that one option that you've mentioned, Kirsty. They need to sort of just keep that work rate up, even if it's your wing defence, goal defence on the line.
Correct.
So just having that reset option, but it's so important to have those 7 attackers. So you're never out of the game. So they've got it back to 5 here and an opportunity to get it to 4. Clark turns and shoots really quickly. Great follow-up there. That was a really, really good one to come up. As we see Cornish with those long arms. I would not want to be shooting over them, that is for sure.
It is a big stretch, it really is.
It is, and you think just as he, and I mean, I don't know him, but you sort of think as he gets maybe sort of like physically stronger and sort of through the core, he's going to be able to have that long arm over and then jump as well.
That's it.
So that's going to be...
even just his game awareness over this season developing, I think he could be a definite one to watch across the season. There's some exciting
does that count as a
ones.
rebound if it doesn't actually hit the ring?
Silently. Maybe it was a pass. It was a set play.
It was a
goalie to goalie.
Yeah, goalie to goalie. Beautiful. There we go. Goal assist. Well done, Ryan. Yep.
Definitely.
Okay, so back to 4 here, Garville. And the turnover. So close from Hayes. Couldn't quite pull it in. But that was what we were saying, that high ball cross court. They're the ones that Garville want to try and set up. As we see, really good composure there from Sampson. That was a real pressure shot there. They needed that one, and he has just finished really, really nicely. So Garville are definitely back in this there, as we see beautiful vision there from Ryan. Just saw that Cornish was stuck in behind, creeping out to the side, and that bullet-like pass into Clark. So that understanding of those two just shining through again.
And also that, the fact that there was a hard drive going, so something else that the keeper had to be aware of.
Yep. All right, really quick responses there from Matrix both times, though, which would be disappointing for Garville. They need to just try and make Matrix have to do those few extra passes before they put that shot up.
Short again.
Short again, yeah.
Oh.
Didn't like that one, Clark. But we've got to get hands over here, try and get that ball back.
Hands up.
Apply that pressure. They don't want to let them just get that really quick transition. So I'd like to see Clark up here with that defensive pressure. Good hands over there from Ryan. That's what we want to see all the way down the court. You just see that real steady.
And here we go with Hay.
Well done to Hay.
That's the one he was watching
almost did. Almost did on the last play and just couldn't quite come up with it. Lovely. I reckon that's a set play there.
And he is a bit of a twinkle toes around that circle. He seems to always manage to balance and on the little toe around the circle edge.
So 4 goals, 5.5 minutes to go. So who is going to be able to get the ball down to their goalies to score off their centre passes? Because really from a Matrix point of view, possession is key for them. Nice take there from Davis.
Yeah.
And you can just see it really is starting to sort of a bit of push and shove.
This is where they need to really compose for this option and turnover.
That was lovely from Dutram. I think earlier in the game he would have gone long for that one, but he actually punched back through. Really good, strong take there. And this is where I'd like to see Davis is probably a bit wide there and deep in the pocket.
That's what I was just thinking.
Or even just off screen now, but see Hay and the goal defender just need to be up on the line as well. So good work there from Garville.
That was the composure they needed.
And we just see a contact call there.
Matt Spur.
Yeah, on Spur in the goal third or centre third. Umpire's calling in the centre third. So got 2-on-1 in the goal circle, but well done there from Cornish.
Didn't capitalise quick enough on that.
Didn't move that ball fast enough, as we just see again, and this is where...
No.
Yeah. Can't pass when you're on the ground, unfortunately. But that's where I just feel you just see the experience from the feeders for Matrix.
Yeah.
Just giving me the big nod there, yes.
Yep.
Just being able to actually feed that ball back out to open up for the circle rather than trying to force the ball into the goalies.
Yeah, it's just really looking at that one option and just really transfixed on how we're getting it in as opposed to, okay, how are we going to reset it and get it in.
Yeah, so important little goal there for Matrix and really nice drive there from Cross. Cross and Diamond, just that combination. We saw it in the first quarter and we're seeing it again in this quarter. Just so much experience, that movement, and just getting ball side is so key. You can see that they're never feeding over hands.
No.
They're getting that ball to circle edge, and it just makes it so much easier, particularly in the men's games where we know how good the hands over pressure is.
Oof.
And probably
just forcing those balls in.
And you can understand, like, the young side, developing side, they're down and they keep thinking, I have to score, I have to score.
That's it.
But the thing is, in netball, you can score so quickly. But the thing you can't do is score when you don't have possession.
No. And I think, too, they gained a bit of confidence in letting that ball go last week. Not that Clark's not, you know, asking for it, but last week was managing to get Wood and such out of position back there for contacts, whereas tonight... This Cornish is actually sitting on the body because he knows he's got the reach to contest in the air.
Yeah.
So he's not giving him much space at all, which is also managing to get Clark out of position and turn his body a bit to the baseline at times.
Yep. And we've just seen a change here. So I think that's Taylor who's come on into wing attack.
Taylor has come into wing attack.
Yeah, so just a bit of a change there for Garville, just to try and some fresh legs on in there. And again, just if there was a fake in there, just to bring Spur around that front position.
That's it.
And then let
Clark
it go.
Reoffer as well. You know, he was in a real lunge position by the time he was asking, and Spur could come through it quite easy.
Yeah. You can just see, the composure and experience of Matrix
Some pressure.
Here. That was a good loose ball pick up here. Nice long ball over the top. And a good steady there from Ryan. That's probably what Garville hasn't been doing.
No.
They've just been sort of forcing that ball, but they actually needed to steady there and just wait for something to open up, which it did. And Clark will finish off. So a Matrix centre pass here. So 6 goals. And this is probably where it's hovered for most of this second half. The first half was sort of goal for a lot of it. Matrix got that 4-goal lead at half time, and then it's really sat around that sort of 6 or 7 goals for most of the game.
That's it. And I think, you know, that's a little bit of testament to where Garville can keep themselves. They haven't let it run away. You know, if you were Matrix, you'd be a bit disappointed with not pulling that out with the opportunities you've had to take that lead out further. And, you know, it's been good to see that with the pressure. You know, Jake Taylor's not afraid to use his bench and try some options. It's only round 2. It's all very new. And obviously tonight, as we've seen with the 2 injuries as well, changing the lineup through Garville as well. And they do still have one of their main players to come back in from injury as well.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting to see sort of 5, 6, 7 rounds in, just how much the men have improved just from playing with each other sort of week in, week out.
Definitely.
That was a fantastic transition. That was like textbook transition. If you're teaching your team how to do transitions,
that's the one to look at.
That was the one to look for. So beautiful pop there. And I feel Sampson's been great.
He has. I feel like in that transition too, one of the things to look at there was the great off-ball work that Matrix did down the line. Good pressure here on the pass. Once again, seeing like all the options for Garville are out wide and no one breaking through to give any short option. Even the reoffer is wide and behind the defender.
Really nice take there from Clark, good and strong early. And you think as well, just Cornish and Spur maybe could even start working on that light double jump over the ball too.
Exactly.
So they're both jumping at the same time at the moment. If they can just get that timing right, that's going to make it really difficult for any of the goalies to actually shoot over the top of that sort of double defence. As we see Sampson just take that front space, and that just opens Davis up, and he really has been a rock for them down there, and I think that'll just about do us, and it ends up being a 7-goal margin there in the favour of Matrix, pretty much where it sat for most of that second half.
It did.
Matrix just showing their experience, I suppose, particularly Diamond and Cross, and also Davis down there in the goal circle.
They did.
Some really good signs there from a young up-and-coming Garville side, and I think they can probably be really proud of that. knowing just what a big win Matrix had last week as well.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely be around the mark, but Matrix just too good tonight, probably sort of all the way across the court, just having little wins where Garville couldn't quite sort of capitalise on some of those.
Yeah, totally right, Alice. I think it's going to be an exciting season across the board as all these teams keep developing across the rounds. Come the end of the season, I don't think at this point of the season you could say who was going to be at the top.
No, absolutely not. It'll be exciting to see what happens over the next few weeks. So just want to thank again Spacequake Sports for the broadcast tonight. Our streaming sponsors are Harrison Kitchens and Cabinets, CH Earthmovers, our association partner, the Calvin Group, and media partner, Bree McLean Visuals. Thanks very much for joining me tonight, Kirsty, and hopefully we'll see you back here commentating very soon.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Alice.